What's up everyone on the internet? Thank you for making this video part today. I am so excited to upload this one for you guys because this video we're jumping back into Demon Slayer with the Hashira training arc. Fun fact, after I made my initial review on the Swordsmith Village arc, I remember in that original cut I said something along the lines of that I didn't think they were going to make the Hashira training arc its own season and thinking that the next season was going to be this big final season. However, after I uploaded that video, not 30 seconds later I found out that apparently the Hashira training arc was going to get its own season, so I quickly went back to the video and edited that part out. And after learning that the Hashira training arc was going to be its own season, I was a bit concerned because it's a small part of the manga into which I thought, oh god, this season is just going to be filler. But then I thought, you know what, maybe it's best that this part of the journey remains its own season, because if you were to slap this at the end of the last season, it kind of takes away from that big emotional impact that we got. Also, if you were to put this at the beginning of the next part of the anime, it kind of would disrupt the flow of the tone and pacing. So yeah, maybe it was a good idea to keep this as its own separate season. Also, when you look at this from a financial standpoint, it does make kind of sense that you have this popular anime, why not stretch it for as long as possible and make a lot of money? With that being said, despite this season being only 8 episodes long, the story does feel like it's setting you up for something really big that's about to happen. More on that later. But one of the things I liked about this season was how everyone now knows that the bar has been raised in terms of character growth, because after the events of last season, 2 Upper Moons were killed and Nezuko conquered the sun. For the Demon Slayers, they now realize that it's not impossible to kill these guys, and they have to ready themselves while Muzan is getting his armies ready, and they think that this boot camp is the best possible way to get everyone ready for the coming battle. Which means that it's time to get reacquainted with the Hashira that we've met in previous seasons, while at the same time get to know some of the new Hashira we haven't met. And that's pretty much the layout of the entire season, where episodes 1 through 4 is basically training with old characters, while episodes 5 through 7 are training with new characters, and episode 8 is the big finale. Now, when it comes to meeting with old characters, it feels like meeting up with old friends after summer vacation. After having a season without Zenitsu or Nosuke, it feels so good to see these guys back. Also, because we're meeting with old characters, we don't have to worry about anything serious and just have fun. We watch Tanjiro work out with his friends. But once we meet the other Hashira, that's where we're going to see what drives these guys forward. Now, it should be noted that what makes Demon Slayer so much fun to watch is that it's able to balance the humor with the action. Having said that, the majority of this season tends to focus on building up our characters both physically and mentally. With the exception of the first and final episode, there really isn't that much action this season. Which is funny because when you look at the previous season, the Swordsmith Village arc, that season from beginning to end was a big fight with little to no breaks. Granted, there were a few times where the story did tease at just how strong these Hashira really are. But still, there were also times this season when the story did drag on a little bit. But then again, I can understand that because this part of the manga was so short, a lot of things had to be stretched a little longer, while at the same time, a lot of new things had to be added into it just to make the story flow a little better. With that being said, let's talk about the final episode, which is what everyone is talking about. After being teased throughout the entire season, which by the way had little to no action, that finale felt like a big reward for being so patient, and oh my god, that episode felt like a horror film. Without giving away spoilers, I will say that from beginning to end, my hands were so sweaty because I have never been that scared while watching an anime before. And by the time that episode ended, it felt like the rug was pulled out from underneath you. Now, going back to what I said earlier, the majority of this season feels like it's preparing for what's coming next. And after watching that finale, it's pretty clear that we're coming down the final stretch. So overall, I had a good time with this season. Is it the best one? No, but I will say this, I think the reason why I focus on a lot of these human characters is because I think a lot of them are gonna die. Which brings us into the next installment of the franchise, the Infinity Castle arc, which is supposed to be the final battle between the demons and Demon Slayer. And after listening to all the manga readers hype up this arc, and after seeing all the fan animations, I am so excited for this. Well, that's gonna do it for this video, guys. That was my overall view on Demon Slayer, the Hashira training arc. If you like what you saw, hit the subscribe button so you can always update from this channel. I'll see you next time with a brand new video. Bye-bye.